Ya'ni sahobalar dinga amal qilishliklari uchun, dinga itoat qilishliklari uchun nafaqat o'zlarining jonlaridan, balki mollaridan, nimaiki bo'lsa barchasidan kechishlikka rozi bo'lgan. Alloh subhanahu va taolo lan tanamul birra hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun degan oyatni nozil qilganda, ya'ni siz suygan narsangizni ihson qilib bermaguningizcha yaxshilikka, ya'ni tasvirda bu jannatga erishmaysiz degan oyat nozil bo'lganda Abu Talha roziyallohu anhu Rasulullohning huzuriga kelib, "Ey Rasululloh, meni bitta bog'im bor. Men uchun eng juda mahbub bo'lgan, eng men uchun sevimli bo'lgan mol-mulkimni mana shu bog'imdir." degan Abu Talha roziyallohu anhu o'sha Masjid Nabaviyning atrofida bog'lari bo'lardi. Juda ham so'lim joy, juda ham yaxshi joy bo'lgan va juda ham chiroyli bog' bo'lgan. Va o'sha juda ham Abu Talha unga o'sha sevimli bog'lardan bo'lgan, sevimli mol-mulklardan bo'lgan. Va Rasulullohning huzuriga kelib aytganki, "Ya Rasululloh, mana shu bog'ni men Alloh subhanahu va taoloning yo'lida ihson qilaman. Chunki men jannatga erishmoqchiman." degan. Ya'ni o'sha meni bog'ni ihson qilib olgan Alloh subhanahu va taoloning yo'lida. Ya'ni o'sha Alloh subhanahu va taolo bitta oyat nozil qilib, jannatga erishishingiz uchun, o'zingiz uchun eng mahbub bo'lgan narsani infoq ihson qilmaguncha erisha olmaysiz degan oyati nozil bo'lganda, o'sha o'zi uchun eng mahbub bo'lgan, eng sevimli bo'lgan narsasini Alloh subhanahu va taoloning yo'lida ihson qilgan. Yoki boshqa bir misol sifatida ibn Umar roziyallohu anhu keltirishlik mumkin. Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallamning sunnatlariga eng amal qiladigan sahobalardan edi. Va Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallam nimani qanaqa qiladigan bo'lsa o'shanga amal qiladi. Chunki biz bilamizki, Alloh subhanahu va taologa eng mahbub hayot tarzi, eng Alloh subhanahu va taologa sevimli bo'lgan yashash tarzi bu Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallamning yashash tarzi. Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallam payg'ambar sifatida Alloh subhanahu va taolodan xohlagan narsasini so'rashdi. Alloh subhanahu va taolo Rasulullohga bir qancha holatlarda Alloh subhanahu va taolo Rasulullohga aytganki, boylik berishni taklif qilgan. Podshoh qilishni taklif qilgan Alloh subhanahu va taolo. Xohlasang degan Alloh subhanahu va taolo mana shu Uhud tog'ini oltin qilib beraman degan. Lekin Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallam Alloh subhanahu va taologa qanaqa hayot mahbub ekanligini bilgan. Alloh subhanahu va taologa oddiy hayot, insonning oddiy hayot kechirishligi. Chunki bu dunyo Alloh subhanahu va taolo nazdida hech qanday ahamiyati yo'q bo'lgan dunyo. Alloh subhanahu va taolo boy bo'lganlarni kambag'allardan ko'ra afzal ko'radi. Alloh subhanahu va taolo nazdida bitta hadisni misol qilaylikki, Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallam o'tirganlarda bir kishi o'tib ketdi. Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallam so'radilarki, sahobalardan bu qanaqa kishi? Deganlarda sahobalar aytdiki, "Bu juda obro'li boy kishi. Qayerga borsa hurmat ehtirom ko'rsatiladi. Agar birovning qiziga solchi qo'yadigan bo'lsa, hamma qizini berishga rozi bo'ladigan juda ham bir obro'li boy inson." deb ta'riflashadi o'sha insonni oldin ketgan. Keyinchalik yana bitta odam o'tib ketadi. Bu haqida nima deysizlar deganda aytganlarki, juda ham kambag'al, hech kimni oldida obro'si yo'q bo'lgan bitta inson. Agar biror joyga borib qizini so'rasa, kambag'alligidan qizini ham bermaydi hech kim. Agar biror joyga borsa, chekkada o'tiradi, hurmat ehtirom ham ko'rsatilmaydi. Deganda Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallam aytganlarki, mana bu ikkinchi inson Allohning nazdida degan, mana bu birinchi inson, butun dunyo to'la mana bu birinchi insondan ko'ra Allohning nazdida balandroq turadi. Ya'ni Alloh subhanahu va taolo nazdida baland bo'lishlik, Alloh subhanahu va taoloning roziligiga erishishlikda insonning mol dunyosi yoki tashqi ko'rinishi yoki obro' e'tibori bu narsa rol o'ynamaydi. U Alloh subhanahu va taologa qanchalik mahbub bo'lishligida uni taqvosi, uni qilayotgan amallari rol o'ynaydi. Shunga Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallam tanlagan hayot tarzi eng Alloh subhanahu va taologa mahbub bo'lgan hayot tarzi hisoblanadi. Rasulullohning kiyinishlari, Rasulullohning yurish turishlari, hamma narsasi hadislarda kelgan. Ibn Umar roziyallohu anhu mana shu narsalarning hammasiga amal qiladigan sahobalardan. Bir kuni Ibn Umar roziyallohu anhu yo'lda ketayotganlarida boshlaridan mundoq egib o'tdi. Sahobalar, ya'ni atrofidagi shogirdlari so'radiki, endi bu Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallamdan keyingi davrda Rasululloh vafot qilganlaridan keyin so'radilarki, nimaga boshingizni o'z-o'zingizda egib o'tdingiz deganda aytdiki, mana shu joyda oldin daraxt bo'lardi. Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallam mana shu yo'ldan yurganda o'sha daraxtni shoxini yo'lni to'sib turadi, shoxini tagidan bunday egilib o'tardi. Shunga men ham egilib o'tdim. Hatto o'sha paytda daraxt bo'lmagan. Daraxt kesib tashlangan bo'lgan. Lekin shunday holatda ham Rasululloh bo'yinlarini egib o'tardi, mana shu joydan deb bo'ynimni egib o'tdim degan. Ya'ni nafaqat botiniy yoki ibodat masalalarida e'tiqod qilishlik, Rasulullohga iqtido qilishlik, balki oddiy bir hayotiy yurish turishda ham Rasulullohga iqtido qilganlar. Buni sababi hammasi nimada? Buni sababi hammasi Alloh subhanahu va taoloning roziligiga erishishlik uchun bo'ldi. Ya'ni jannatda Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallamni qo'shnisi bo'lishlik, Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallamga yaqin bo'lishlik, jannatga erishishlik maqsadida bo'lgan. Mana shu sahobalarni qilgan qurbonliklari, sahobalarni bu dunyoda din uchun bor narsasidan kechishlikka tayyor bo'lishligi biz uchun o'rnak bo'lishligi, biz uchun misol bo'lishligi lozim. Biz o'zimizni qilgan amallarimizni ko'p sanamaylik. Sahobalarning amallari bilan bir taqqoslab ko'raylik. Ular qilgan ishlarni biz qanchasini qilyapmiz, qanchasini qilyapmiz. Biz o'zimizni qilgan bir ozgina amallarimiz bilan jannatga erishishlikdan umidvor bo'lishligimiz bu bir xomxayol bo'lib qolmas. Chunki bu narsalarning haqiqatini biz vafot qilgandan keyin tushunamiz. Vafot qilgandan keyin ming afsuslangandan foyda yo'q. Bu paytda afsuslanishdan hech qanaqa foyda yo'q. O'sha afsuslanmaslik uchun hozirgi kundagi hayotimizda, hozirgi kundagi agar ertaga o'lim keladigan bo'lsa, o'sha Alloh subhanahu va taoloni rozi qilgan sahobalarning darajasida biz ham Alloh subhanahu va taoloni rozi qilganmizmi yo'qmi, ana shu narsaga e'tibor berishimiz, ana shu savolni o'zimizdan so'rashimiz lozim bo'ladi. Biz ham o'sha sahobalar Allohning roziligiga erishib, bu dunyodagi hayotlarida Allohning roziligiga erishgan sahobalar darajasida bo'la olamizmi? Yoki faqat qilgan amalimiz bitta ikkita namoz yoki jumayu boshqa amalimiz yo'q bo'lib qoladi. Yoki amalimiz bor-u, bu yoqda tog' gunohlarimiz bilan boryapmizmi Alloh subhanahu va taolo oldiga? Mana shu narsani o'lim kelmasdan oldin sarf hisobini qilib, mana shu narsaga e'tibor berishligimiz lozim bo'ladi. Chunki haqiqatda agar vafotimdan keyin Alloh subhanahu va taoloning roziligiga erishay, jannatga erishay degan bo'lsak, unda biz o'zimizni hayotimizni bitta sahobalarning hayotiga o'xshatishimiz lozim. Albatta aytganimizdek, bizning qo'limizdan kelmas ular darajasida ibodat qilishlik. Lekin hech bo'lmaganda ularga o'xshab ibodat qilishlikka harakat qilishligimiz, din uchun o'zimizni qo'limizdan, nafsimizdan kechishligimiz darajasida hech bo'lmasa o'sha biz xohish istaklarimizdan kechishlik darajasida bo'lishligimiz, bunga albatta imkoniyatimiz bor va buni qilish qo'limizdan keladi va buni qilmasdan agar Alloh subhanahu va taoloning huzuriga ketadigan bo'lsak, qiyomat kuni Alloh subhanahu va taolo oldida beradigan bahonamiz bo'lmasligi mumkin va yuzimiz shurt bo'lib qolishligi mumkin. Bundan Alloh subhanahu va taolo bizni asrasin va bizni mana shu sahobalarning darajasida bo'ladigan, sahobalarga o'xshab hayot kechiradigan, payg'ambarlarga o'xshab, Rasululloh sollallohu alayhi vasallamga o'xshab hayot kechiradigan insonlardan, mo'min musulmonlardan qilishimizni so'rab qolamiz. Va alhamdulillahi robbil alamin. Inshaalloh ozgina ingliz tilida ham qisqaroq aytib o'taylik. Bismillahirrohmanirrohim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen among his slaves, among the people, certain people that he has chosen to spread his deen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen Sahaba, prophets among the creation to give his message to them. And with the prophets, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also chosen some people around the prophets, which we call it Sahaba. Sahaba means the person, the companions of the prophets. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to be the last prophet, to give him a religion which will stay, which is for the whole humanity until the day of judgment. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen people among the whole creation, some people to be the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We call them Sahabi. And to be Sahabi, the person should meet Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and accept Islam and be in the state of Muslim and die in the state of Muslim. So there were people who saw Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they accepted Islam, but because they were munafiq, they were not true to their belief. Later on, they left the fold of Islam and they died as a non-Muslim. And there among the people, there were some people who saw the Prophet, they had a chance to talk to him, but they didn't accept Islam. And they died as a disbeliever. Or there were some who accepted Islam later on after Prophet died, but they will also will not be called Sahabi, but they were going to be Tabi, because they saw they saw the Sahabis in the state of Iman. So these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them great honor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Quran that radiyallahu anhum wa radu an. These are the ones that Allah is pleased with them and they are pleased with Allah. And to achieve this kind of status of being Sahaba, they went through so many difficulties. When the Islam came in the beginning, it was very hard for the Muslims because they were persecuted because of their Islam, because of their Iman. The people, they tortured them, they killed them. Why? Because they were just Muslims. And it was very hard in the beginning of Islam to follow the deen. Despite these difficulties, Sahabis, they keep following Islam. Like we can give the example of Bilal radiallahu anhu, who was a black slave, and he was tortured by the owner because he accepted Islam. And they used to take him, put him in the hot desert and put him rocks on top of him and torture him until he faints. And he used to keep saying Ahad and Ahad, Ahad, Ahad. Ahad is the name of Allah, the one. So he used to mention that only one God, there's no multiple gods. So he rejected the ideology of being having a multiple God. So he used to say Ahad, Ahad. And later on, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he purchased him as a slave and then he freed him. That's how Bilal radiallahu anhu was saved from the punishment. So there were some Sahabis, they went through the physical torture to follow deen. Some Sahabis, they gave up their whole wealth, whole life. We can give the example of Suhaib al-Rumi, who was very rich person in Mecca. In the beginning, he grew up as a slave because he was the son of a rich person, but on the journey he was captured by highway robbers and he was sold as a slave to the Byzantine Empire, to part of Syria. So that's how he got his name Rumi, from Rome. Roman. They call him Roman. So he grew up as a slave, but later on he came to Mecca and he again became rich. So he had a lot of wealth. So when the Muslims, they migrated to Medina, that time they couldn't openly migrate because the disbelievers of Mecca, they were blocking all the roads and they were against people leaving the Mecca and going to Medina as a Muslim. So he left without anything. He just didn't take any of his wealth. He was just by himself, secretly going. But they found out about him leaving. So they chased him behind him and they surrounded him. He was on top of the hill and they surrounded the hill to capture him. So he said that to the people that if you want, I'll tell you where my whole wealth is. Where did I left my all the money? You can go and take it and leave me alone so that I can go to Medina. So the people who chased him, they agreed and then they took all his wealth. They came to Mecca and they took all his wealth, all his money and everything that he left. And the Suhaib al-Rumi became poor. And when he came to Medina, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he met him and then he told him, "Oh Suhaib, you have done such a business that no other business is more profitable than this." And then Suhaib al-Rumi, he understood what is the reason for this, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed ayah in the Quran about you that وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ. And among the men, there are one who sells his very soul to seek the pleasure of Allah. Meaning, Suhaib al-Rumi decided to leave everything that he has, all his life, everything that he gathered all his life, for the sake of following deen and going and joining Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which in return, what benefit he got? He got the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this is such a business that you did, that no other business has this much profit that you can get. Or we can give example of Abu Talha, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the ayah لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون. You will not attain the righteousness unless you spend from what you love. And this, when this ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, Abu Talha came to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said that, "O Rasulullah, I have a garden that I love. This is the most beloved the wealth that I have." So he said that I decide to give this in the sake of Allah, make it sadaqah. So Sahaba, the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they did so much sacrifice so that they can follow the deen, and they are the examples for us. If we want to achieve the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to follow their footsteps. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose them especially to serve to understand the deen from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they want to spread the deen all over the world. And the Sahabas are the ones who went all over the world to different parts of the world, and they spread the deen. And they are the ones who, in their lifetime, while they were still alive, some Sahaba, they were given the glad tidings of entering the Jannah. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was pleased with them so much that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them that you will enter the Jannah. Can give the examples of Sahabas of Badris, the ones who participated in the battle of Badr, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them that all of you are forgiven, and whatever you will do in the future, I will forgive also. That's how much they sacrificed themselves. They stood against the army, which is way almost 3 times more than them, and with fully equipped, full armor. They stood against them and they fought against them. They protected Islam, sacrificing everything they have. They sacrificed their life, they sacrificed their energy, they sacrificed their wealth to follow the deen. So we have to take them as an example. How much sacrifice are we doing? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, right now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it so easy for us to follow the deen. Allah is not asking us to sacrifice our life. Nobody comes and then kills you or tortures you because you're following Islam. It's very easy. Only thing that you might need to sacrifice is your own desires and your pleasure. For example, you don't want to spend time or wake up to pray namaz because you love your sleep too much. Or you don't want to fast because you like eating. So what sacrifice Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is expecting from us right now is only the desires, not the needs. Because they sacrifice their whole wealth. Allah is not asking from us to sacrifice everything we have. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only asking from us to give away the haram, not giving away the halal also. Because the Sahaba, they give away haram, they didn't have haram at all, but they give away the halal income that they had or halal wealth that they had to follow the deen. The deen is, alhamdulillah, right now is not that hard to follow, that we have to give away everything that we have. No. Only thing that we have to give away is the haram things that we are having. And we can follow them, we can have the halal and we can keep it. So if you want to die in a state that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with us, we have to take an example of the Sahabas. We have to learn their life, we have to learn how much sacrifice they did. And of course we can't reach to their level, but at least we can imitate them. We have to take them as our role models. That we have to be like them also. If we live like that our life, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with us. Also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be happy with us, and we will die in a pleasure, that in a state that we will be happy to enter the Jannah, inshallah. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to follow the footsteps of Sahaba. Inshallah, we ask brothers to make a donation for masjid. Masjid uchun ihson qilishlarni so'raymiz. Albatta mana shu ihsonlar bilan mana shu masjid faoliyati davom etib kelyapti. Alloh subhanahu wa taolo mana shunaqa sarflayotgan pullarimizni, topayotgan pullarimizni barchasini din xizmatida sarflanishini Alloh subhanahu wa taolo nasib qilsin.